Hello students, now this video is for the Cbse term 2 exam. Some important board questions we are going to discuss in this from the chapter 15, our environment. Now as you know that in the term 2, 2 marks and 3 marks questions are only there. So we'll start with these questions only. The first question is, what is meant by environment? Name its component. Now the answer, all the surroundings which have an impact on human lives is called an environment, and it has two components. One is abiotic component, which is also known as non-living, and the another is biotic, which is living. Next question is, what is 10% law? Give an example. So in this, only 10% of energy is available at the next tropic level in 10% law, you can say. And in example, you can take any example of 3-step food chain like deer eating grass, and it is eaten by the lion. So only 10% is transferred. What is artificial ecosystem? Give two examples. So the ecosystem which are made by humans are known as artificial ecosystem. For example, dams, parks and crop fields, etc. Energy transfer is said to be unidirectional, whereas biochemical transfer is said to be cyclic. Why? So energy transfer is unidirectional because when the energy is absorbed by autotrophs from the sun, it is never reabsorbed by it. एक बार जो है ऑटोट्रॉप्स के पास एनर्जी सन से जो आ जाती है वो वापस सन के पास नहीं जाती, एंड व्हेन इट इज कंज्यूम्ड, कंज्यूमर्स हीट अप द प्रोड्यूसर डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली, द एनर्जी ट्रांसफर टू इन दिस प्रोसेस इज कैन नेवर बी रिवर्स इन द फूड चेन. While in biochemical transfer is a cyclic because chemical elements move from environment to organism and back to the environment. So you have seen so many cycles. Why is there is a need to ban the use of polythene bags? So polythene bags, all of you know, need to be banned because they are non-biodegradable. They cannot be able to decompose them, and one of the cause of the land pollution. They also got blockage, sewerage blockage, so many things, and it is also resulting in the cancerous disease. What is the significance of food chain? Significance of food chain is it is used to transmit energy from one organism to the next, and it is the method by which a particular organism collects its food. It is a way of depicting the flow of energy. So all these are the significance of food chain. What are the two functions of ecosystem? The two functions of ecosystems are, ecosystems regulate essential ecological process and life support systems and render stability. It regulates and maintains itself and resists any stress or disturbances up to a certain limit. This is known as cybernetic system. So these are the two main functions. Others are also there. What percentage of solar energy is trapped and utilized by plants? So this is very important. Only 1% of solar energy is trapped and utilized by plant. What are the harmful effects of acid rain? Harmful effects of acid rain, it affects human nervous system, respiratory system, digestive system. It can also leach aluminium from the soil. It affects soil fauna and lead to the reduced forest productivity. Give any two methods reducing the problem of waste disposal. The two methods reducing the problem of waste disposal are practicing the 3 R's: reduce, reuse and recycle, and by throwing biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste into separate dustbins so that recycling can be done easily. Next, what are tropic levels? Give an example of food chain and state the different tropic levels in it. So the position that an organism occupies in a food chain is called tropic level, and an example of food chain and state tropic level it as follows. Like first plants, they are as producer level, deer primary consumer and lion secondary consumer. What is the role of decomposers in the ecosystem? Decomposers play a critical role in the flow of energy through an ecosystem. They break apart dead organism into simpler inorganic materials, making nutrients available to primary producers. So this is the main role, that they are breaking the complex into the simpler. If all the waste we generate is biodegradable, will this have no impact on the environment? If all the waste is biodegradable, this will have impact on the environment, because the production of harmful gases will increase and it will cause the pollution, and all the microbes which are on the earth will not be able to decompose all the biodegradable waste. Next, what are the problems caused by non-biodegradable waste that we generate? So there are different problems. Since waste cannot be broken down into simpler forms, hence they keep on accumulating, which lead to pollution, different diseases, are there because of the non-biodegradable waste, which we discussed in the previous questions also. State one reason to justify the position of man at the apex of most food chains. So man at the top of the most food chain because man is the most intelligent organism, or you can say animal, and man can manipulate his habitats, or you can say habits, according to the environments. That's why man is on the top of the most of the food chain. Which food chains are advantageous in terms of energy? So the shortest the food chain will be efficient in terms of energy. Harmful effects of ozone depletion: it causes skin cancer, it can cause eye cataracts, leads to the immune deficiency disorders, it can affect plant growth and reduce agriculture productivity. Now the most important question: what is biological magnification and give its causes? Gathering of various unimportant and harmful substances by organisms at different levels of a food chain is known as biological magnification. Its causes are the excessive use of pesticides which enter our food chain, as the bottom feeder of a food chain consumes these and gradually it is carried to the top of that food chain. Aquarium requires regular cleaning while lake normally do not. Why? घर में जो एक्वेरियम होता है उसको साफ करना जरूरी होता है, बट lakes and ponds को नहीं, because lakes had more diverse forms of life. Due to that they have large number of food chains in which lead to natural cleaning, क्योंकि उनके अंदर हर तरह के organisms रहते हैं, and the ecosystem is more stable. Aquarium has a very limited number of food chains and unable to sustain itself, तो इसलिए हमें उसको clean करना होता है. Now what is difference between food chain and food web? The food chain describing which organism in the environment eats another organism. In ecology, the food chain is a series of transfer of matter and energy from organism to organism, while food web means mutually many food chains via which energy flows into the ecosystem. What is biological magnification? Illustrate with the help of example. So biological magnification जो क्वेश्चन है काफ़ी बार बार आता है. It refers to the process where toxic substances move up the food chain and become more concentrated at each level. For example, if the water is having 0.02 ppm of harmful chemical, phytoplankton is having 0.02, and then in fishes it leads to 5, then in birds it is 240 and 1600. So at each tropic level it is increasing. Describe how ozone layer is formed. This is also very important question. Formation of the ozone layer is as follows. During the origin of the life earth, some of the underwater microorganisms were to photosynthesize. Due to the molecular oxygen was released in the atmosphere, and this oxygen is released to the stratosphere, where it began to react with ultraviolet radiation and oxygen. Free oxygen combines with the molecular oxygen to form the ozone gas. O2 will be broken down to nascent oxygen, a single atom of oxygen, and this will combine with the molecular oxygen. So these are some of the important questions from